up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Inside the Vinyl. I'm your host, Tim Bianconi. If you would go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel below, that would be greatly appreciated. If you could also hit that notification bell so you could be notified when we put out new content, that would be appreciated also. So, I'm in a different spot, as you can see. My normal spot is covered with Christmas cookies, so hopefully after the holidays, I can get back to something a little more normal, whatever that means for me over the last year and a half or so. But I wanted to discuss, kind of do like an unboxing / Lost Classic and discuss an album by Alice Cooper from 2003 called The Eyes of Alice Cooper. It's a really cool album. Unfortunately, maybe I don't think a whole lot of people know about this album, but you should. So this was released originally on September 23rd of 2023. It originally came out on the Spitfire label, but this reissue is done through Ear Music, Eagle Rock, and Adele. So yeah, excuse me, but originally it was Spitfire, and it was produced by Alice Cooper and a gentleman named Mudrock, who you might also know because he produced albums for Godsmack, Avenged Sevenfold, and I think he even did an EP for Linkin Park. Didn't sell super well at the time. It only reached as high as number 184 on the Billboard charts, and unfortunately there's no gold or platinum certifications for this record, and that's a travesty because this is a cool record. But let's see, after, I guess Alice, for a couple albums, Brutal Planet and Dragontown, those albums were a little more metal and industrial leaning, and this album really got him back to that like real basic stripped down, almost garage rock of like the early Alice Cooper albums, which is one of the reasons I think it's really cool. And it was a theme or a direction that he stayed with for a couple records after this. So let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. Again, like I said, I consider this a lost classic, but I also haven't opened it yet, so it's I guess an unboxing of sorts as well. But anyway, there we go. There's the front cover of The Eyes of Alice Cooper with with The Eyes of Alice Cooper, and then of course on the back here is the band that he had at the time, which was also made up of Kiss drummer Eric Singer, right over here in his little mesh netted shirt and with his nipples and all. So there you go. All right. Let's see. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think a lot of these guys are still in his band currently. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this open. There we go. No hype sticker or anything like that to speak of. But again, I've looked at this one for a long time, and just for whatever reason, didn't buy it. And then I had a gift card from work, and I was like, what the hell? But again, that's not that in no way is representative of the record. That's just for whatever reason, it took me forever to buy it. But anyway, here we go. Here again, The Eyes of Alice Cooper, front cover, back cover with the band. It is a gatefold, which is pretty neat. So yeah, so if you just, inside the gatefold, just more Eyes of Alice Cooper. Maybe you can just see my eyes right now too. Anyway. All right. It is just a single record. So let's go ahead and pull this out. All right. Let's see. Okay, so on one side, we've got Alice and some liner notes. And then on the other side of this, in the inner sleeve, we have the lyrics to the album. So very cool. And then if we open it up, it is 180 gram vinyl, which I think is really cool. Again, I like all the colored vinyl and the splatter vinyl and all that kind of shit that they do now, but there's nothing prettier, in my opinion, than some just really solid 180 gram black vinyl, and that's just beautiful. Anyway, there's the sticker inside with the eyes again. Nothing too special on the back, no track listings or anything like that, just side A and side B. So really cool, really, really cool. And very nice, high quality packaging. To be honest with you, I don't think I ever actually owned this on CD or cassette or anything like that back in the day. I think I just had it, I probably had it illegally downloaded because I didn't have any money back in those days. But if I did buy it, it would have just been on like iTunes or something like that. So anyway, there's The Eyes of Alice Cooper, the vinyl reissue. What year did the reissue come out? It looks like, it's not really telling me what year the reissue came out. I don't know. I'll have to look that up and maybe put it down below. But anyway, but the album itself initially came out in 2003. So, like I said, this was a move back to the more raw garage rock of the early Alice Cooper days. This would carry on for a couple albums. Dirty Diamonds and even like Along Came a Spider are very much like that really raw garage rock sound. Some of the songs on this album, I mean, it's not an album that a lot of people know, but if you've seen Alice Cooper tour in the last 20 years, you've probably heard a song called Between High School and Old School. I've seen him 3 or 4 times since then, and I want to say he's played it all but maybe 1 time. So that song is still in the set list a lot of times. Really cool tune. What Do You Want From Me is kind of a funny song. It's very kind of in its time, you know, talking about a lot of things that were, you know, happening or popular or, you know, in style, whatever you want to call it, in 2003. So it's a little dated as far as the lyrical content is concerned, but the song is still really cool, I think. Novocaine. I honestly think Novocaine, it's a little campy, you know, a little silly in the lyrics, but it's a very catchy tune, and I think in a different time, like maybe the late 80s or even in the 70s or whatever, that would have been a massive hit. I just think it's a really, really catchy and well-written tune. And then, of course, Detroit City, which later got covered again, or not covered, but he recorded a new version of Detroit City later on for the Breadcrumbs EP, and I think it's also on the Detroit Stories album. So the original Detroit City song is on, you know, this record here. So check that out. But again, like I said, a total return to garage rock after doing some metal industrial stuff for a couple of years. You know, and what else can I say? It's a direction that I love, and like this album and the 2 albums that followed it are 2 of my favorites. You know, and there's not really much else to say about it other than this is an Alice Cooper album that I don't think a lot of people really know about, but I really think should. And if you're a fan of that really raw, just like garage rock sound, which even beyond Alice Cooper made a huge comeback at that time in the mid-2000s, you know, with bands like Jet and the Hives and the Vines and stuff like that, and maybe even like the White Stripes and whatever else too. So if you really want to hear, you know, the master of that style of rock, or one of the masters, you should check this record out. So again, Eyes of Alice Cooper, you won't be disappointed. Get it on vinyl. I'm sure you can probably find it on CD. I think it's available on all the streaming formats. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. But there's ways you can find it, and you should. So that's all I've got for you today. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel below. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we put out new content. I've got the rest of my, I guess, unboxing series out there. We unbox new albums, reissues, box sets. Sometimes they're CDs, sometimes they're records. It just depends on what's coming out. I've got my Lost Classic series, which this also qualifies for, as well as a live album series. And I'll be doing more of that in the future. I've got some concert footage from from festivals from the last several years. I've got some disc golf footage too out there if you care about any of that. And last but not least, I do have a couple of documentaries that I put together for school, as well as a podcast I did where I interviewed a former FBI agent about one of the biggest espionage cases in the history of America. So check all that out. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.